A leading human rights group has said torture and ill treatment are continuing in the Gulf Kingdom. Amnesty International said it had evidence of people being kept in prison for participating in anti-government protests without using any violence, and that security forces continue to respond to demonstrations with excessive force. Our security correspondent Frank Gardner reports.
A damning report today by Amnesty International. It accuses Bahrain's security forces of unnecessary and excessive use of force against protesters. It says recent reforms have been largely cosmetic, that human rights violations continue, and it calls for the immediate release of what it terms prisoners of conscience.
It continues to hold large numbers of people in detention. It has imposed very harsh sentences on people without fair trials. There are 14 opposition leaders that remain in custody. There has been no high-level accountability for those abuses. So we see window dressing.
Bahrain's rulers were supposed to have drawn a line under last year's widely publicized abuses. The king commissioned an international inquiry that made several recommendations. Today, the government rejected Amnesty's report.
We've been very transparent and very much committed to implementing all of the recommendations and continuing on reforms. So I don't think that was accurate in there.
This weekend, Bahrain will host the Formula One Grand Prix, last held 2 years ago. Opposition activists want it cancelled, calling it a reward the government doesn't deserve. And today, Britain's Labour Party also opposed it. But Bahrain opposition figures fear what would happen if it didn't go ahead.
If Formula One is to be cancelled, then some of those radicals in the ruling elite will come with a revenge program against the opposition. Either way, whether it goes ahead, there's a problem. If it doesn't go ahead, there is a problem.
And the problem looks like this: nightly clashes in restive Shia neighbourhoods that grow ever more violent. As talks on sharing power go nowhere, the prognosis for Bahrain is grim. More civil unrest, more sectarian division, more violence. Frank Gardner,